It took us months to plan the night. One proper girls' night out like we used to. Just me, Tessa and Lily. No boyfriends, no work talk, no excuses. We hadn't done this in over a year. I told myself that's why it felt so strange. The silence in between our laughter, the little pauses where memories used to fit. By the second bar we'd found our rhythm again. Cheap drinks, old music stories we'd all heard before. For a moment I could almost convince myself that nothing had changed. Then Lily spotted a narrow alley I didn't recognize. One more, she said, her eyes bright with that reckless spark she always had in college. There was a door there, plain black, no sign. I hesitated, but Tessa was already pulling me forward. Inside the air was cool and sharp, like someone had scrubbed it too clean. The room was small, with mirrors lining one wall and a single man behind the bar. He looked at us like he'd been expecting company menus, no prices. Just him pouring 3 old fashions, perfect down to the twisted orange peel. It was my favourite, ours actually. But I couldn't remember ever telling him that. On the house, he said. Been a while since you girls came by. I wanted to laugh it off as a joke, but something in his tone, calm, exhausted, kept me quiet. We clinked glasses. The drink burned, going down sweet and heavy. For a second, everything in me cracked open. Every lonely weekend, every unread message, every time I'd told myself we'd reconnect and then didn't. When I looked up, Lily was staring into one of the mirrors. Do I look older to you? I turned to check, and she was right. Her reflection looked different. Not older exactly, more tired. Eyes just a little hollower. Tessa's had it too. And mine? I had to swallow a sound when I saw mine. My smile looked strained too wide. My reflection wasn't following me anymore, not exactly. There was a hesitation, a lag too subtle to be real. Tessa, I whispered, but she didn't answer. She just kept watching her reflection, which smiled even though she didn't. The music had stopped. So had the sound of anyone else talking. The bartender was gone. The door was gone. The mirrors were everything. The light flickered and flattened, making the reflections look deeper, infinite. I could see versions of us repeating again and again, each one slightly off. A twitch, a bruise, a faint tremor in the eyes. Some of them weren't looking at each other at all. Some were looking at me. Lily whispered my name, but her reflection didn't move. It just grinned the corners of her mouth, stretched too high. Something cold slipped through me then, not fear, but recognition. What I saw in those faces wasn't a haunting. It was us, what we'd let happen to ourselves. The distance, the resentment, the years apart solidified and stared back. The thing in the mirror wasn't trying to escape. It wanted us to see what we'd become. I blinked and everything was gone. Just empty stools, empty glasses, and the faint smell of lemon cleaner. The next thing I remember is daylight streaming through dusty windows. We were in an abandoned storefront, our phones dead, our memories cut to pieces. We don't talk about it anymore. None of us do. But some nights when I catch my reflection just right, halfway between waking and sleep, I think I still see that other version of me, the one who never came back out of the third bar. Please like, comment, follow and subscribe for more chilling tales.